I'm here today just north of San Diego at the synagogue that was attacked yesterday by a 19-year-old shooter, killing 1 and injuring 3, including the rabbi who just spoke with media behind me. Here's a clip from that.
I turn around and I see a sight that undescribable. Here is a young man standing with a rifle, pointing right at me. And I look at him. He had sunglasses on. I couldn't see his eyes. I couldn't see his soul. I froze. My first concern was, what's with Lori? Where did that noise come from? What's happened to Lori? And as soon as I did that, I took a look, and more shots came running right at me. And I lifted up my hands. I lost my index finger on this hand. I received a personal phone call from our President Donald Trump. I was amazed to answer the phone and say the Secretary of the White House is calling. And he spent close to 10-15 minutes with me on the phone. And it's the first time I've ever spoken to a President of the United States of America. He shared with me condolences on behalf of the United States of America. And we spoke about the moment of silence. And he spoke about his love of peace and Judaism and Israel. And he was just so comforting that I'm really grateful to our president for taking the time and making that effort to share with us his comfort and consolation.
Now you might be wondering, why is a Canadian from the Rebel covering this story all the way in California? Well, let me tell you, there's 2 reasons. The first reason, it's an important story. The second reason is I don't trust the mainstream media here in California to cover this story accurately and correctly. And I think a lot of folks will agree with me on that. See, CNN and NBC, they're all going to be looking to blame the wrong things. They're going to be looking to blame conservatives and Donald Trump and guns. But in fact, that's not the case. The problem is the anti-Semitism that we've been seeing rising in North America, and it's certainly not coming from Donald Trump. In fact, the shooter even said himself that he's not a fan of Donald Trump. The people inspiring folks like these to do these things are folks like Linda Sarsour and Congresswoman Omar. I'm old enough to remember when Omar said Jews are hypnotizing the world. Can you believe that? And for some reason, CNN isn't going to be blaming her for radicalizing this shooter, when in fact, it's people like that that cause things like this to happen. Now, someone died here yesterday and more people were injured, and it's not time to play the name and blame game, but I want to point something out to you. Take a look at this comic that was published in the New York Times. You know that socialist rag? Yeah. This is the sort of anti-Semitism that breeds the hate and the violence that we saw here yesterday. Just take a look at it compared to a similar comic published by the Nazis in the 1900s. If you enjoyed my coverage here today on location in San Diego, please be sure to go to rebelinvestigates.com. There you'll be able to follow everything that I've covered here, and you'd be able to pitch in a few bucks to help me keep doing what I'm doing. The car rental to get me from the airport to the synagogue cost me about $60, and the airline ticket cost me a few hundred more. If you want to see more of what we're doing here, please do go to rebelinvestigates.com. For the Rebel.media, I'm Keean Bexte. I hope you enjoyed my coverage here on location just north of San Diego at the synagogue that saw unspeakable acts of violence here yesterday. If you want to see more of my coverage and if you want to pitch in to help me out, go to rebelinvestigates.com.